in using that in terms of comedy, there are some jokes that I might make or observations I make about a particular group, and some people might not like that. But sometimes I'm like, I'm glad you don't like that because I wrote it to offend you.
Welcome to Black Minds Matter UK Roundtable. Today we're talking openly about the pressures of public life, TV exposure, social media scrutiny and cancel culture, and how these experiences can shape mental health. We're here to explore what helps people to stay grounded, grow and find support that truly understands their cultural and personal background. Thank you so much to all of our guests here today for sharing their perspective. Let's begin.
Competing on a show like MasterChef puts creativity and performance under intense time pressure with the nation watching. What did that experience teach you about managing self-doubt or perfectionism, and how have you learned to be compassionate with yourself? I'm still dealing with the whole process of being compassionate with myself, because I'm one of those guys where I'm in the field of cooking, but it's very niche, because I do the fine dining stuff, which is quite niche. It's not necessarily broad. And for someone like me that looks like myself, young, self-taught, no training, no school, just out of curiosity, after primary school, I'd go home and watch Big Cook, Little Cook with my sister. We'd go home and watch Jamie Oliver, even though I don't rate the guy anymore. I used to watch a lot of Jamie Oliver, and he'd be like, oh, this is how you do rock chopping. I'd be like, oh, you can do it, I can do it. Then I'll practice, I go into the kitchen practice, and then I mastered knife skills with no training. So in terms of going on the show, like she spoke about herself, I know myself, I know how good I am, you know, I know how sharp I am, I know how to, you know, in terms of organization was key. One of those things where I learned from other chefs, like watching them or hearing or reading their books as well. It's like organization is key. You know, I've got two sisters. Well, I've got three, a half sister, but I've got two sisters grew up with, and anytime like they get ready for school, work, they're throwing everything around, you know, and then they're like, oh wait, I forgot my keys, I forgot this, I forgot that. That's because everything's is a mess. When you have that organization, you're like, okay, I know where this is, I know where that is. And so I applied that to my cooking, you know, I applied that to being in the kitchen. Okay, organize yourself, this is how you do it, this is how your bench should be, this is how the table should be, boom, 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 that everything goes in a timely fashion. So when I jumped on the show, I was like, okay, I can do this. But you know, it hits different when there's a camera in front of you, you've got mics, you've got the judges, you've got the producers, you've got the camera crew. So it's tough, you know, and as someone who's got so much self-belief in myself, I was like, okay, I can do this, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a journey, to the point where if there was any cracks, it would throw me off a little bit, even though, you know, getting on the show, I wanted to get on the show to win. I didn't get on the show to just be like, okay, I'm just gonna jump there to compete. You know, I had a story to tell. I was like, I'm gonna win, and this is for all the guys out there that look just like me. You know what I mean? So I went to university for 4 years, and I told the story on the show, but like they edited it out. So one of my friends, no clue in the kitchen, he was making pasta, and he boiled it, but he didn't know how long he meant to boil the pasta, to the point where the water evaporated, and he burnt it. You know, and a lot of the guys I went to uni with are like, oh, I need a girl that can cook for me. I'm just gonna get a takeaway every day. I'm just gonna go home and get my mum's lunch from home and bring it. I'm like, guys, you know, cooking is easy. You know what I mean? So my whole thing was jumping on the show, winning, because I know I could do it, and to tell a story where it's like, okay, someone like me can do it, you can do it. If you wanna have a night out with your lady or your partner or whoever, why not just cook for them? You know, that will mean a lot more, you know? Just take take a bit of time through your day to be like, okay, I'm gonna look for a recipe and try it, because it's easier than it looks really on the surface. So, after the show wrapped, unfortunately it didn't go to plan. And I was in a really dark place, really, really dark place. I didn't talk to my family for 2 weeks, because I was like, well, I'm this good, but what went wrong? I was blaming myself. I was like, what went wrong? Like, how could I, type of thing. I'm like, I'm this good. I was such self-belief. The judges loved me. Everyone loved me. Everything I did was very, very professional. But I was like, oh, how could I mess it up? Like, you know, so I was beating myself up. Even to this day, sometimes I'm like, you know, when you get like sort of like hindsight moments where you're like, oh man, I should have done this, I should have done that. Then I start beating myself up all over again. So I'm really still working and being compassionate with myself. I'm like, okay, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I try to follow the guys that are in that field where they've taken the hard bumps, and how do they bounce back? So I'm still learning.
So Elijah, I was hearing what you're saying about, you know, you've mentioned some important parts about, you know, being in a space where people that look like you are not really in there and wanting to do and, you know, kind of be a trailblazer in that space. Do you feel that sometimes, and this could be for everyone as well, this pursuit of like what we call like black excellence and exceptionalism has affected your ability to be compassionate for yourself as well? Because there's like, obviously preliminary, something like MasterChef, before you even get to the point of even being in the early heats, you got to qualify then anyway, where there'll be thousands of people applying. So that in itself has put you on a short list, which is an amazing one. So there's an element of success before you even get to semi-finals and heats. But obviously it's hard for you to feel like that when you're trying to reach the pinnacle of the success. So yeah, again, as I'm saying, like, do you feel like you're a victim of this pursuit of black excellence, and does that make it hard for you to soothe yourself and be like, you know, you did a good job, it's okay, like?
Yeah, 100%. I do feel like I'm a victim of that, because again, when you look at business owners, like small business food owners, and like even successful ones they say they're British, white British, and they do cuisine that's not British at all. Like, let's say, I don't know, South American or Mexican, whatever. Some people, they don't look, you know, they don't take a second glance at them. They're like, okay.
Jamie's Italian is a perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I'm like, okay, well, some people look at me, I'm like, oh, my favorite cuisine is Mexican. My business, when I start doing pop-ups and all these other things, supper clubs or potentially a restaurant, will be Mexican fine dining. And some people are like, why Mexican? I'm like, if I was white, you wouldn't be asking me that, would you? Absolutely. You know what I mean? So for me to be like, okay, I'm chasing this, I feel like there's a lot of pressure. So I put that pressure on myself, and I don't know why I do it, but it's just the people that I not necessarily look up to, but I emulate. I watch their journeys, I hear, you know, their processes, how they got to where they get to. I'm like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. So I want someone to look at me to be like, well, if he can do it, Elisha can do it, then I can do it. So I can motivate and inspire other people just like myself that are just sitting there being like, oh yeah, I like doing this, I'm in this creative field, I really like this fancy food, I like food in general, or just creativity in general. I'm like, but people are gonna look at me a bit different. I'm like, nah, bro, just go get it. Just do it, do you, and you're gonna shine, you know?
Yeah. In regards to the compassion thing, I think you just need to be kind to yourself, because you're very new to this industry. I think this is your first TV job? Yeah, right. So our industry it's fantastic, it's phenomenal. It's everything you could wish for, but it's also so heartbreaking, and it's also very cruel. You will get used to the rejection. You said that that you messed up. Let it go. And I know it's easy to say that, but that comes with experience. That comes with years of doing this industry. The rejection is, honestly, it never stops. It's never not painful, but you have to find a way to accept that wasn't for you, and move on to the next. I always say, as one door closes, another one opens, and what is for you will never pass you by. So yes, you have to, and you do have to get a really thick skin in this industry. And honestly, it hurts when you get down to the last two of something, and people say, oh, well, you know, at least you got down to the last two. No, it doesn't hurt. No, I'd rather actually not get down to the last two. But it's yeah, so close. But just the rejection is painful. But you will learn how to deal with it.
Yeah. Also, it's just last thing is I've been trying as well, like to always remind myself something that I've heard a few years ago. It's like, no matter what you do, whatever field you're in, because me personally, like a lot of people that are from the show or like want to go on the show, they turn into like sort of like food influencers and all these other things. That's not me. I want to, you know, I'm a chef. You know, I want to showcase my work, not do content of work. I want to showcase my work, and some people were like, oh, you do all this fancy food, you do it at home, you post it online, but why? I'm like, for me, I was reminding myself of this thing. Someone said, whoever needs to see it will see it. Mm-hmm. So I always try to remind myself. I'm like, okay.
It's free advertising. Yeah, exactly. You should post, always brag, blow your own trumpet. Why not? Who else? If you don't blow it, who's going to blow it for you?
Yeah, so when I do make some of the stuff that I post or showcase to people, they're like, wow, like, they're like really shocked. I'm like, you know, whoever needs to see it will see it. You know, like if it's someone that owns a business, someone that wants to invest in me, or like someone that's just interested, or someone who knows someone, they'll see it. So I try my best to encourage myself that way.
With some compassion. Love that. Thank you so much. Okay. Final question.